I'm ready. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Tuesday, July 14th, and I will start roll call on the left.
Frank Mills.
June Gagny.
John Meyer.
Carla Desjardins.
Sean Svab.
Samantha Crees. All right, so we do have a quorum. There are no alternates to appoint, so we'll start with public hearing 26-1ZC of Riley Rice, requesting a zone change from Industrial 1 to RA60 on property located at 58 Brunswick Ave, Assessor's Map 4M, Block 111, Lot 14A. Do we have anyone speaking for the applicant? Just give us a brief summary of what it is you want to do and why.
Switch from industrial to residential so I can live there.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
You cut your eyes.
All right, so in the staff packet, staff did mention that back in February 2025, this parcel was rezoned from residential to industrial. The owner had received approval for a contractor office and garage, but then subsequently sold the property to Mr. Rice, and Mr. Rice would like to convert that back to a single-family home. It is in an area with other residential properties. So this is a public hearing. If there's anybody with a comment or question on this application. Did the certified mailings get submitted?
They did.
Okay, perfect. Any questions from board members? All right, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second
I
that.
have a motion by John to close the public hearing and a second by June. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing is closed. Moving on to item B, it has been requested that this not be opened and just be continued to next month, so I'll entertain a motion to continue 26-2SA.
So moved.
I have a motion by Frank to continue.
Second.
I have a second by June. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, continued to our next meeting, which is August 9th.
I believe it is.
And are we back at the town hall?
I would have. Yes, we will be.
And we didn't vote on your application yet. We just closed the public hearing.
It'll be on this one.
August 11th. So, I'm sorry. August 11th, 7 o'clock, back at the town hall. All right. Regular meeting is called to order. Additions or corrections to the agenda. We do have a request to add application 26-2ZC under new business as item E. Do I have a motion to add that to the agenda?
I'll make that motion to add that.
I'll second.
I have a motion by June to add to the agenda. I have a second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item is added. New business, item E. Citizen participation. This is opportunity for the public to address the board on an item that is not a agenda item or a closed public hearing. Okay, hearing and seeing none. Moving on to the unfinished old business. 26-1ZC of Riley Rice requesting zone change from Industrial 1 to RA60. Staff had no objection to putting it back to the residential zone, and considering the other lots near it are residential, it would be in conformance with the Plan of Conservation and Development. Are there any items for discussion on this application?
No.
Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion, and I believe it needs an effective date. Is that right? Zone changes need an effective
It
date?
does need effective.
All right, so when making your motion, if you could indicate effective date of August 1st.
Okay, I'll make that motion and indicate August 1st.
Okay, so I have a motion by June to approve, effective August 1st.
Second.
Second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Application is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Item 26-2SA was continued, so we just need to continue this item. I'll take a motion to continue.
I'll make a motion to continue.
Second.
I have a motion by June and a second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Application is continued. Item 26-4SPL of Michael Driscoll. He's also requested a continuance to August.
I'll make that motion to continue in August.
Motion by June, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Application is continued to August 11th, Plainfield Town Hall. New business, item A, 26-12HO of Alexander Somakis. This applicant has also requested a continuance.
Make a motion to continue to August.
I have a motion to continue by John and a
Second.
second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Application is continued to August. Item B, 26-3 SA of Paul Archer, requesting approval for 3-lot subdivision of property located at 0 Sarah Lane, Assessor Map 3M, Block 90A, Lot 11, and I see Mr. Archer is here for the applicant.
Correct. The applicant is Brisson and Sons Property LLC, and John Brisson is here if we have any questions. So Mr. Brisson owns a piece of property that basically abuts Squaw Rock Road to the north, Sarah Lane and Stanley Drive to the south, and Sarah Lane here is a right-of-way that comes in. That's the old folks' home that's here. So right now, Mr. Brisson owns a parcel of land that is 21.1 acres in its entirety, okay? So what Mr. Brisson is trying to do, and he's proposing to do, is to break the 21 acres into 3 lots, okay? One lot being 4.27 acres, which would come off of Squaw Rock Road, and 2 lots are going to be coming off a 40-foot right-of-way that is on Stanley Drive, okay? One of the lots is going to be 6.81 acres, the other is 10.2 acres, okay? All 3 lots are served by public sewer. So they all have this is a low-pressure main that's on Squaw Rock Road. This is a gravity-fed sewer system that comes off of Stanley Drive, which comes in this way, okay? So the property is consisted of quite a bit of wetlands, okay? Of which Joe Thoreau delineated the wetlands. So we've shown them. We are showing the wetlands that are up on the north side here by Squaw Rock Road that comes down here and incorporates the big portion which is in the southerly here, which is wetlands also. So again, we're proposing 3 relatively large lots with public sewer, so they each are going to have their own private well. And everything, it's a relatively flat site, so there isn't a lot of grading that is required for this, or the runoff that we've talked to with Sean here to demonstrate what we can do here with everything. All the houses that are being proposed are going to be slabs on grade due to the water table being what it is. Proposed well. The other thing that we have proposed now, I had sent it to Brian to discuss the letter for the open space fee. Did everybody get a copy of that?
We got the recommendation. No? I think
Okay.
there was an actual copy of the letter, but we got a summary of the proposal.
Okay. Here, I can give you a copy. This was the actual letter that was sent to him. Basically, what we outlined was what the appraisal as per the town is right now to the 3 houses, and we're doing the 10% fee in lieu of open space. So if that comes out to be roughly $3,608 per lot, which is done at the time the transfer of the lot is for the open space. Now we've had some talks with Sean today about, we submitted the drainage calculations, and I know him and I worked it out today that he needs a little more stuff from us, but we think we can do it on a conditional approval due to the fact that still each one of these lots, even though we show developmental lots here, they're still considered conceptual plans. Each lot still has to have an actual site plan submitted to the town for your approval with all the calculations on it. So, I mean, I think it's a relatively simple subdivision. It's a lot of land broken into 3 lots, which is a flat surface. Everything is being self-contained here with public sewer on all 3 lots.
Sean, do you have any comments about your discussion with the applicant today?
Yep, I can speak on that.
Yep, please.
Yep, so if you're looking at the plans, there's no stormwater ponds or anything like that proposed right now. And to back that up, Dave Smith, their engineer, presented a plan, or I guess calculations, that use the rational method to show that during up to a 100-year storm, the amount of runoff that would be generated would only increase the stage of the wetland by 1/8 of an inch, which is 0.01 feet, which for a parcel this size, it is 20 acres, and to go to that 13-acre wetland during a 100-year storm to only increase by 0.01 feet, I would say is a negligible increase, and something that I think is very fair. From a stormwater quantity perspective, overall as a whole for the entire subdivision. What you do not see on the plans is they have stormwater quality calculations that still have to be provided during each lot, build out basically, so for each zoning permit. And at that time, there will be rain gardens, swales, whatever needs to be created basically to collect that stormwater quality volume. So that will decrease it even less than what the calculations show.
All right, so that would be a condition of MS4 stormwater calculations must be reviewed and approved by town engineer.
Yep, and I actually do have a condition in there.
The water quality volume
Water quality
calculations.
volume calculations.
So does that capture the MS4?
That does.
Okay.
Yep. So if you want to, you can add it in there. It's a little
I
redundant,
might
but it's
state
fine.
it just to
Yeah.
be
It
super
does not hurt
clear.
to add it.
Super clear.
And like we had said before, to go along with Short's thing, he's gonna have to see each individual lot anyways.
Okay.
Right now, this is a conceptual plan showing you that we meet all your zoning requirements and
Yeah.
everything that is
Yeah,
needed.
once you get in there and actually,
Design what kind of house is going in there, the driveway, the stormwater, and then they'll be grading, and I'm sure the as-built and everything else on top of that will have to be done also.
Yeah, and we have done that in the past. One I can think of off the top of my head is a subdivision that Ernie Colello just did off of Moosa Pond Road.
Yep.
Each house had individual build-outs, and that was kind of tailored as those lots came online. So that is something we've done in the past.
any comments or questions from board members on this application?
You see where they've got proposed gravel drives? Are they gonna stay that way, or if somebody paved it, would that change things?
That would change the calculations, correct. And I think, but I believe you're looking at keeping paved drives, or you're staying gravel drive most.
Well, if it's a long driveway, it's probably gonna be gravel.
Gravel.
If anything, you pave right in front of the house.
And we've also, I don't know, we also got, I spoke with Ryan before he went on vacation, and he had a half a dozen items that we've also addressed through Ryan.
So Ryan did make a notation that if town engineer is satisfied to recommend the motion to approve per the most recently submitted plans with the condition that the fee in lieu of open space in the amount of $3,608 per lot be due at the time of transfer be added to the Mylars. Under engineering, Sean had the following conditions. Activities shall be conducted in a manner that does not cause or contribute to violations of state water quality standards. Erosion and sediment control best management practices shall be installed immediately prior to and be maintained during and after construction as needed to prevent adverse impacts to water resources and adjacent lands. Such practices shall be in accordance with the Connecticut guidelines for soil erosion and sediment control. Signed, sealed, hard copies of the plans and calculations must be provided prior to issuance of zoning permit for the proposed lots. The location of silt fence and erosion control measures must be called out on plans for clarity. MS4 stormwater calculations and water quality volume calculations with all applicable plan changes and details must be shown and approved by the town engineer on each individual site plan prior to zoning permit issuance. So when making a motion, if you want to include those conditions, you can just indicate including conditions as read. So any other items for discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the application.
Move to make a motion to approve the conditions as read.
All right, motion by Frank,
Second?
second by June, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Application is approved with conditions as read.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item C, 26-4SP of Sean Spog for the town of Plainfield requesting special permit for the construction of a 30 by 100 pavilion with associated parking. Because this is a special permit, it does require a public hearing, which we could schedule for our next meeting, August 11th.
Okay. I'll
So-
make that motion.
I'll second
All right, I have a motion by June and a second by John to schedule that public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is scheduled for August 11th. We'll be back at the town hall for that day. Item D, 26-4SA of custom-built homes by Greg Lato, requesting modifications to previously approved subdivision 24-2SA, Assessor's Map 26, Block 10, Lot 12A, RA 60 zoning district. Do we have a staff report on this one?
I might not have written it up, but I can give a quick.
Is the applicant here to present?
No.
Okay, so this is being
We
continued
have
then.
not done anything like that yet. It was just an application submitted.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to continue this item, which is incomplete.
I'll make a motion to continue it in August.
All right, I have a motion by June,
I'll second it.
second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Application is continued to August. Then we have item E, which was the newly added. This is a text amendment zone change application from residential to commercial for 0 Plainfield Pike. And this does require a public hearing. So we can schedule that public hearing for August, or we can schedule it for September. Whatever the board prefers. I think we've got 3 public hearings scheduled for August.
That's
Easy? All right, so, all right.
for August.
All right, I have a motion by Frank to schedule that public hearing for August. I have a second by June. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing and seeing none. Review and act on the minutes of June 9th. So we did have some name spelling corrections. In the minutes, it said Holly Doje, but it should be Polly Oje. So that will be corrected. Then Ernie Colello's name was spelled C-A, but it's C-O. And then Michael Driscoll has 2 L's. Were there any other modifications or changes to the minutes that anybody noted?
That's all I saw too.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes with those revisions.
I'll make a motion to approve with those revisions.
All right, I have a motion by June and a second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting minutes are approved with those changes. Any correspondence?
Yes, there is.
All right. Are these copies for everybody or?
There should be copies in the packets, actually, I believe.
Okay, so all correspondence is included in packets for commission members, so there's nothing new to add.
Correct.
Okay. All right, report from zoning enforcement. Nothing outside her report?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nothing for Katie.
And report from Ryan, or nothing outside?
Nothing for Ryan.
All right, additional report from engineering?
Nothing for me before.
Okay. Are you involved with the Dow Bridge Road?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the status on that? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, because I
Yeah.
know that's of public interest, so.
Yep, so the road is currently closed, closed indefinitely right now, I can't put a date on that. Where we're currently at is, I want to say two or 3 weeks ago, we actually met with the state, we met with Deep Fisheries in particular, because there had been a plan for Dow Road Bridge that's been ongoing with, it's been hung up with fisheries, that department specifically, since before I was here, actually. And so we met with fisheries at a few locations to look at mitigation projects. The issue is that at Dow Road Bridge, with the fix that we had proposed, essentially the abutments are undermined, right? And so underneath the bridge is washing out. Fish have laid eggs in those undermined areas. So what we're trying to fill in is what fisheries is trying to save, basically, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so that's the big holdup. And so it's a loss of habitat for the fish. And so we need a mitigation project to offset that loss of habitat. So we went out a few weeks ago to look at a few areas that fisheries was interested in. They sent us examples of similar projects so we could get an idea of what we're in for mitigation. Right now we are waiting for confirmation from fisheries on the locations and their feasibility. And once we have the feasibility of those locations, we can move on, hopefully either location and decide which is going to be the best option for us moving forward. Cost effective wise, long term wise, we have to think about all of that and take it all into account. But that's the path forward. So right now we're waiting from confirmation from fisheries on both locations as to their feasibility.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Moving on to other discussion about advisory letter to Siting Council. So at this time, there's still no application on the trash plant with the Siting Council. They're currently in deep for air, solid waste, and there's an EPA permit pending. So until it opens for public comment, we're just monitoring the permits as they go through the process. The first selectman has formed a group with the chairman of this commission, Inlands Wetlands, to meet with town attorney in order to follow the process and then be ready to intercede as an intervener. So the town will be taking a formal role as an intervener in that process.
We won't see anything happen until after.
Yeah, it'll be a slow process for sure, but we'll just keep our eyes on it every month with an
Did you
update.
want to mention the website?
Yes, so there is a newly developed website. I don't have the web address
Yeah, I know.
memorized. I think it's Plainfield Trash Plant. What does it say again?
Plainfield
I was
Trash
gonna say-
Plant.org.
Okay, plainfieldtrashplant.org, where all the information of where it is in the process will be collated, so you can follow that website for more
I was
information.
gonna say Sam had the information, but look over.
There she is. All right, excellent.
Here's a me.
Before you move on, Carla.
Yeah, no, I'm adding right now. So I did forget to add an item to the agenda. The building official is here to discuss the letter he submitted in your packet. So if we could add that as other item B, discussion with building official. Do I have a motion to add that?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by June to add to the agenda.
Second.
Second by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Wagner, if you want to come on up, and we do have your letter indicating.
I gotta come up.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah, you can just come to the front row so everybody knows who's talking. So you're talking about the accessory dwelling unit regulations that we have. So you're looking to add some language just to be more specific and clear.
Well, it's always better if zoning and building are on the same page all the time. Your zoning regulations do not define one of the most key aspects of an ADU, okay, which is bedroom. How do you guys define a bedroom? By code, we divide bedroom with a window, some kind of light or ventilation access, a door for privacy. No, not a closet. Don't have to have a closet. Okay. Square footage and ceiling height. That is by code how we define a bedroom. Now, where I think you guys are going to run into a problem is if somebody wants to develop something by zoning and zoning regs don't allow it, in order to enforce that it is not an ADU, you have to prove it. Now, you're almost going to come down to a point where if somebody says, I want to finish my entire basement, okay, because it walks out into a pool area, and I wish to put it in a full kitchen, I want to put it in a full bath and laundry so I don't have to carry all the towels and my towels upstairs and everything else. And this one room over here that's kind of closed off is going to be a living room or a playroom for the grandkids. Well, you can look at that and you can say it's a bedroom. And they're going to say, no, that's going to be a play area. But you're basically building an ADU, okay? Prove to me that that is a bedroom. By zoning regs, you can't. You don't have the language. Now me, I can come in and I can say what I want, but it's the zoning portion of the show that is either going to allow it or not allow it. So I would like your language to be more specific for one reason only, not just to be on the same side as the building official, so what we have is the same language. But if you have the language, yes, you're gonna have people that will go around and do something that you're not supposed to, but you can't enforce if you don't have the language. You can't enforce it.
So tonight is really just for the board to essentially say, do you want staff to pursue a text amendment to modify the language to bring it in line with the building code? So if that's yes, then we'll ask staff to just start working on that text amendment, which I'm sure you'll have a lot of input into.
I would
Say yes.
Okay? And we,
Determine if it's necessary first,
Mhm.
then pursue it.
okay. So if you could just relay that to staff that we'd like to start developing some text language to review at our next meeting. Awesome. All right, thanks for joining us this evening.
Sure.
Appreciate your time. So seeing no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to adjourn by June.
I'll second.
Second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.